Uganda. And that's exactly what we hope to deliver to them once we are in power.
You're going to Kasese today.
Yes.
What do you anticipate that the reception will be?
I know it's going to be so much love. I know it's going to be so much excitement. I really, really hope the police continues respecting the law and respecting the rights of the people of Uganda. I'm looking forward to seeing you, my brothers and sisters in Kasese, and we'll talk largely about the issues there and the issues around the country.
Well, during this time, you've seen previously Kasese was an opposition stronghold,
Yeah.
but they've had people coming in through NRM. Do you think opposition still holds that position of taking charge of Kasese? And what is going to be your message when you get there?
I don't want to just bundle us in the opposition, because I can guarantee you that there are even many people within the NRM that want change. So for us, we are representations of change. The people of Uganda voted us in 2021. So we don't look at ourselves as opposition, because we are supposed to be the government. We just look at ourselves as the option that is awaiting taking power.
On Monday, when you started your tour, the spokesperson of the Uganda police said that you should work with the regional police commanders and to ensure that you have a peaceful process during this time. But then he said it shouldn't be a campaigning process. We've seen you gather people in playground, at the playground in Barara and the garden in Fort Porto. Are you campaigning?
This is a wake-up campaign. It is a wake-up campaign. It's a wake-up call. This campaign is called Wake Up Uganda. Uganda Zukuka. So we are awakening up the people, reminding them of their responsibility, reminding them that this is their country. They should not leave matters to me. When I said because Chagulanyi, some people took it literal. So it's important for me to remind the people of Uganda, beginning from Western Uganda here, that this is not only about Chagulanyi or those that he leads you with. It's about you as well, my brother, my sister. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you do, it's about all of us. So if we come together, we can change our destiny. And that is what we are calling upon people to do. So yes, it's a wake-up campaign.
What has been your message across all these people that you've spoken to? Because like we said, they are coming to you because they think there's hope. What is your message that you're giving to them?
It has been a reiteration of our usual fundamental message generally for the country, and particular messages for those areas that we go to. We are reminding them of what we aspire to bring to them in a new Uganda. That is servant leadership, that is a return to democracy, that is a revamption of health care and education and all that. But most importantly, we are reminding them that it is within their power to achieve this, not within the power of anybody else, but them. You know, they went to the polls, they elected us. We were not able to go in government because using the gun, General Museveni took over. We are reminding them that it is not only the election that matters. Many people have been trying to point us to 2026 because that's what General Museveni wants. He wants us to forget about what he has just stolen in 2021 and focus us on 2026. We are saying we are not only focusing on 2026. We are focusing on now. We want change now. We want to awaken our people now so that they don't sleep waiting for 2026, in which other election, General Museveni could do the same thing. But if we awaken them now, if they know their responsibility now, I am sure that even before 2026, they can do something that can fundamentally alter the fortunes of this country.
We've seen a program that was released by NUP.
Yes.
You're going to tour the entire country.
Yes.
NUP is a young party,
yes,
born recently. Do you have the funds to fund all these activities?
That's a very interesting question. Do we have the funds? We don't need the funds. Unlike General Museveni or his son, who needs 5 billion to have the activity that we had in Barara, 5 billion to have one we had in Kasese. We need less than 5 million. All we need is the fuel in our car. In fact, in my car, in the car that carries my team, my security team, and maybe our other leaders, we need fuel for just 3 cars. Other cars are going to be funded by their own drivers, our leaders, the MPs, and all that. We only need the fuel, food, and accommodation, period. Everything else just shows up. So we don't need money to do this. No, It is the will to do it. We know what we're doing is right. Sometimes we even park at a petrol station. We want to pay for fuel, but after filling our cars, somebody comes and whispers, "Hey, the gentleman there said your fuel is paid. Just go." We go to a restaurant, eat food. After eating food, before we pay, somebody says, Bobby, don't worry. Somebody has paid for that. So it's not a money thing. It is love that keeps us going.
Bobby, on Monday when you were in Mbarara, you were supposed to, I should say you were supposed to be hosted on a digital radio station.
Yes.
When you got inside there, it was switched off. The power went off. What do you make of this move? And yesterday we thought it would happen to you at Jubilee radio station, but you were given one opportunity to speak.
Yeah.
What does it mean to this process you are into?
Like I said, we are not moving because the regime wants us to move. Whenever they can sabotage us silently, they do. Now, we were able to expose all the injustices that they were doing to us, not only nationally but internationally, and that has had an effect on them. So they only block us in subtle ways. Yes, when I was in Barara, they switched off the radio station because they fear this message. They know this message that we give the people is moral, is awakening, and it debunks all the lies that the regime has been propagating. So they switched off the radio. What we did is expose it. It was all over news, and they were exposed and ashamed. And I believe that is the reason why they didn't switch off this radio. It's on that note that I want to encourage the Ugandans, wherever you are, you have a role to play. Those on social media, those on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Help us spread this message. Help us expose this. We have a theme called Labisa. Mulabise, when you do that, we are safe. So by exposing what they did in Barara, maybe we had the opportunity to speak freely to the people of Fort Portal.
Yesterday, your message specifically here in Fort Portal.
Yes.
You know, Fort Portal has been described as a tourism center.
Yeah.
And you said it is very unfortunate there is no airport here.
Yeah.
What do you think would be the contribution of an airport to a city like this that you probably think would be attracting more tourists?
This is a tourism city, the only tourism city that we have in Uganda. This is the epitome of Ugandan beauty. 52 crater lakes, you know. Tourists don't come to Fort Portal on border. No. They're supposed to come here on plane. We're supposed to make it more, accessible. If we had a small airport here, and I'm saying a small airport because at least a small airport, but indeed Fort Portal deserves an international airport that would benefit us as Ugandans. Not only airports, we need to improve the infrastructure, have a better road access here, have, facilities. For so many years a stadium has been promised here. It has not happened. Imagine if a Kenya versus Uganda football match was in Fort Portal here, in this beautiful tourism city. Imagine how much money we would be making. So we want to stop calling Fort Portal a tourism city only in words. We want it to be in action. And that will only happen in a government that respects its promises. That is the Chagulanyi government.
Fort Portal is one of those places that grew a lot of cat. And there was a bill that was recently passed by Parliament to try and regulate cat and weed, if I may say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What is your take on this legislation, and what does it mean in terms of affecting people's incomes, especially those that are growing cat for selling?
For clarity, cat is Mairunji, Mira, or Coca-Cola, or Anderso, whatever you want to call it. But I'll tell you that it's not only Mira or marijuana that is being, ring-fenced by regime people that are positioned in places of power. You notice that gold is exclusively for General Museveni's family. If it's not him, it's his wife. If it's not his wife, his brother Sodo. If not his brother Sodo, his brother Sade, his son Mose, and all that. The same thing has been happening on various other people. The same guy tried to take over our coffee in the name of a Pineti. So now they know that Mairunji is a big business, And that's why they're trying to ring fence it. The entire intention is to make sure that the business is taken away from the common people to them alone. That is what they did to marijuana. So many ghetto youths are suffering in prisons for being found with one joint of marijuana. But it's government people that are growing and selling marijuana. I want the nation to know that in a new Uganda, yes, we'll have restrictions because these products can be also harmful to the population. But I want to ask here on NTV, what is more dangerous, Mairungi or Waraji? I believe Waraji. How come Waraji is legal? So put regulations on Mairungi and weed, but let the population benefit from those elements of agriculture.
I know this is a question that has been asked a couple of times. The World Bank has suspended its funding
Yes.
in this country. What do you make of these suspensions? Do you think it's going to affect service delivery in whatever way?
I think service delivery has always been affected, not by World Bank. As a matter of fact, we don't benefit from the money that we borrow because that money, in most cases, is lost to patronage and corruption. Most of that money is stolen. Remember what happened to the COVID money, you know. Museveni and his government is a gang of thieves that look for any donor fund that comes, share it, and it disappears. And nothing happens to them. Remember what happened to Jim Hoes and Mokola when they stole Gavi funds. You know, a few days in jail and then promotion to other ministerial posts. So, the World Bank money was not benefiting us, not because it's not beneficial, but because it's constantly lost to corruption. We've always been calling upon the World Bank to put sanctions on Museveni's government and to stop funding it, because all the funds that are given to Uganda as loans, which loans you, your children, me,